Martin Luther King once said, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving." Whenever I hear this quote, I think of my Uncle Phil. You see, my Uncle Phil had muscular dystrophy, and by age 21 was confined to a wheelchair. By age 28, he could no longer take care of himself. So he came to live with my dad up in Alaska. Now my uncle just loved fishing. I don't mean like it was a hobby. I mean, if he had to choose between fishing and breathing, he would hold his breath and grab a pole. Fishing was his passion. No, fishing was an all-consuming desire. One morning after my dad helped Uncle Phil out of the bed, he said, "Mike, I'm going fishing today. Can you put my tackle and pole by the back door?" Of course, my dad was like, "How are you going to do that?" He looked at my dad and said, "I don't know. Are you going to help me or not?" Not wanting to start the day with a fight, my dad did what he asked and headed off to work. When he got home that night, we found Uncle Phil lying on the floor in front of his electric wheelchair, and when he looked up at us, all he would say is, "Don't say a thing." The next day, when we got home, he was lying on the floor again. So when we came home on what was now the third day, we somewhat expected to find him there again. If my uncle wasn't persistent, he was downright stubborn. To our surprise, though, his electric wheelchair and fishing gear was gone. A few hours later, the doorbell rang. Ding dong. Some stranger was standing there, and he said to my dad, "I found your brother sitting on the side of the road, stuck because his batteries had died, so I pushed him home." Instantly my dad went red. He was pissed. How could my uncle be so stupid? Within an instant, 50,000 bad thoughts went through my dad's head, and he stormed down to the end of the driveway to let my uncle have it. As my dad walked up to him, my uncle's face was glowing and he had smiled like we had never seen before. Still upset, my dad said, "What are you smiling about? You could have been killed." He looked us right in the eyes and said, "Yeah, but we're having fish for dinner." Now how do you argue with that? My Uncle Phil couldn't run, he couldn't walk, he couldn't even crawl, but he found a way to do what he truly desired. You see, it was our hopes and dreams which drive us to do the things we need to in order to achieve the things we most desire.